The chat is on. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I told Marina, well, actually I didn't tell. Marina and I, Marina from Batty Fibers, agreed that we would meet here at 1 so that she could be in the chat and helping and answering questions and reminding me of the things I forget to say, because this is how Marina acts in the Dashers. She is like, we share portions of each other's brains, and it's really helpful, especially on days like today, except for now I'm half an hour late. So we'll see if Marina finds me, even though I'm 30 minutes late and failed to communicate my lateness. She actually reminded me to be on here too, which is kind of hilarious. Oh, we have one hello. Hi. Oh, and Emily. Cute little Emily's in the background.
Hello.
Hi, cute little Emily. Where's New Dog? Oh, hi. Here, bring me New Dog for a sec. Hi, Sadie. Okay, the chat's working. Well, that's good. All right, everybody, listen.
New dog.
This is, some of you already saw on my stories that we brought home a baby puppy, little garbage dog. Look at him. All right, so the name that he came with. Hi, Tracy. Hi from California. Hey, this one's from California. Okay, so the name that he came with was Dutton. That's the name that he came with from the foster. So he was a stray in California to a shelter in California, but that like does the best they can, but they're kind of like a slow conveyor towards euthanization. So then a shelter up here scooped him up, brought him up here, and then he went to foster for about a week and a half, and now he's home with us. Somewhere along the lines, someone assigned him the name Dutton. He doesn't know it. But so there's been hot debate in our household as to what his name should be. What does he look like? We have traveled the gamut of possible name options. Today I'm sort of feeling Batman. I just feel like
Okay, but tell them why.
Why?
Why Batman?
Why Batman?
Because that was the only thing he responded to.
Oh, we were joking around out in the field. Me and cute little Emily took them for a walk, and then we were like testing names. We were being stupid with the names that we were picking, and then I threw out like Batman, and then he totally turned and looked at us, and then Emily tested it, and we tested it, and he answered to it. So now the joke is that maybe we'll call him Batman for reals. Okay. Batman? Does he look like a Batman? Can you imagine? Oh, I love your dog. What's his name? Batman. We don't even know. And then last night, my son comes in the room. Here, take Batman.
Come here, Batman.
Come here, Dutton, Batman. He's had all these names. And last night, our son comes in the room and he's like, I think, Mom, too much time has passed. I think the name is just stuck. I think he's just Dutton. And I'm like, maybe. We didn't like Shaba's name when we rescued him. I was like, Shaba, that's a stupid name. Now I can't imagine his name being anything other than Shaba. So, okay. To the order of business of the day. I'm going to sit here and pick this Shetland fleece while I talk to y'all about the Stash Dashers. Okay, so the new Stash Dashers 2025 art went out in my newsletter last night and on Instagram this morning. Would have Instagrammed it last night too, but I just thought like grid posting it, like it was like 11 o'clock at night. I had a weird day yesterday. So I just did it this morning. This is last year's Stash Dasher art, okay? That cute Marina made. Look, like we love that. Our TF24, and it's adorable. This year's, I knocked it out of the park. Like when she showed me a couple weeks back when she got it done, I squealed. I had a squee kind of a moment because it was absolutely, hey, get out of the wool. Batman. He looked at me again.
See, I knew it.
Okay, so can we actually call the dog Batman?
I don't know. I don't even know if I like that though.
I don't know if I like that either. But why does he keep responding to it?
Maybe that was his name on the streets.
Batman.
I call him Batman.
He just looked at. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna wait till he doesn't look at me anymore. Maybe he's just looking at me because I'm talking to him. And that's the only name
Batman.
I keep saying.
He just looked at me.
Okay, wait. No, I have to wait till he stops looking. Anyway, here because we're here for the Stash Dashers and talking all about that, answering any questions you guys might have. But I just do the live because we get new people every year. And so this is a really good way to tell you guys what the Stash Dashers is, what it isn't, and what we hope to achieve. And believe me, the list of achievements is quite enormous. We have a lot. We're very strict. Okay, here's the deal. Stash Dashers was, this is its 4th year going. So year 1 was just me looking through a bin. I just found out about what Tour de Fleece was, and I thought, well, I already got all this fiber, and I'd like seen the other shops out there that were like selling kits and had like cool sets, and you guys know I love me some cool sets. You know, I just finished going through like the Bramble Ridge winter box and the Melanie Allaire winter box and like all of these things. Love me a set, okay? But I had all this stash, and I thought, well, what if I just use the tour as a means to reduce my fiber stash? And then I went on to my Instagram stories and I just said, anybody want to join me? And people did. We started a group chat in Instagram DMs and we began stashing down together. And so the idea that I threw out there was like, I'm thinking I kind of want to do this tour where we just stash down. Like, is anyone interested? And sure enough, there were other people who were interested. So the first year there was like 15 of us in a group chat and it was great. It was warm and cozy and fuzzy, and I just absolutely loved it. I'm pretty sure, that group chat still exists in my DMs. I should pop in there and just be like, hey. So we spun together. It was lovely. So then year 2, I said, hey, I did this last year with a little group. It was super fun. If anyone wants to join us, let me know. And had a bunch of people respond to DMs, enough that I opened, did I end up opening a Google Doc for that? I don't think I was there yet. No, I think I was still writing names on paper. I think I was still writing names on paper and doing giveaways by writing names on paper. Do you guys remember that? Do you remember me cutting out like little names for giveaways? So I was just writing everybody down, and I think that year we came close to maybe like 100 spinners on year 2, 100 people who wanted to spin together to stash down. And so that year we had multiple group chats, and I was still in them all because there was maybe only like 6 group chats. We limit them. We keep them no more than like 15, and not everyone wants to be in one, but we kind of keep them sort of smallish. That way people can talk, share, get to know each other. Again, it's cozy vibes, right? So we had those group chats. I was in all of them. It was really, really fun just to get to know everybody. Great year. And that was the year that Marina found me. And I got this DM from this Baddie Fibers person who was like, hey, love what you're doing. Could I do art? Would you like me to do like an art for this team? And I'm like, heck yeah, I would. And so she sent me these mock-ups, and it was funny. There was like, she really looked at like my logo and whole deal and everything. And there was like a tentacle, and there was like, what else was there? There was a monster. He kind of looks like, anyway, you guys have probably seen him. I've had him around on stickers and stuff. And there was something else. And then there was what is now Dashel, this 3-eyed sheep. Because we have an eyeball thing around Millie Knits. There's no reason to it. People often ask me like, why does Dashel have 3 eyes? Well, my logo's covered in eyes. It's kind of a monster. And there's like an eyeball thing. I just like eyeballs. It's fine. So anyway, Marina did Dashel, and we had this cute little mascot. And we had stickers and like stuff we could post in stories, and it was a really fun year. And then halfway through that year, so this is year 2, halfway through it, people start, some of the spinners are saying, can we get Dashel on a tote? Can we get Dashel on a whole thing? And so I'm like, yeah, we could figure that out. So there's a local printer to me. Her name is Amanda from Grey and Wild, and she works out of her home like me, and creates all these beautiful, like she does all the printing for these and everything. And so I reached out to her and I'm like, do you want to take on putting this little logo on things for people? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. And so she did some little orders, and people could get totes and a t-shirt, and that's kind of how that sort of began. But it was funny because by the time we even conceived or thought of merch, I think the tour was like almost over. And someone was, I'd love a tote bag or a t-shirt with Dashel on it. And I was like, hey, that's actually a really good idea. So you can see a theme happening here with what's gone on with the Stash Dashers. It's very much been like community driven, where the community's been like, this would be cool. And I'm like, that would be cool. So then it happens, and then we have it. So when we came back for year 3, okay, now we got a logo. So that's kind of like, We fancy. And we have like merch. Also year 2, Megan from Bramble Ridge offered to dye a braid in Dashel colors. That was the first year we had Dashel colors, was in year 2. So we had a braid. We had some t-shirts and stuff people could get. We had a mascot. It was so cool. It was so cool. Year 2 was a cool year. And it was all happening in like real time and during the tour. This was actually like organically growing while the tour was happening. So then when we hit year 3, we were kind of like 1, 2, 3, go. And Marina did a ton of the background admin in year 3, which had always been the thing that I had done. And so we had Google Forms for signing up, and we had like kind of like the real, I don't know how to say, organized. We were organized. I left the pen and paper behind and we actually went for like a spreadsheet, which was a good thing because we had 400 spinners last year. Like we had like this big group that joined us, because even after the tour began and after, like, we didn't like officially close signups, but people kept, oh, hi, Marina. People kept joining and joining. And we say, oh, group chats are closed. We had to close them at some point, right? We couldn't just keep making group chats mid-tour. And so we closed some things. We just invited people to keep spinning with us, even if you're not like officially in the giveaways or all that kind of stuff. So last year was great. We got, I didn't miss a year, did I? No, the year with Dashel and the canoe was the first year. Yes, second year. This was third year. And now we're entering into fourth year, which is the art that I just put out. So last year was awesome. Certain things we came out of, each year we came out of it, having learned something new and kind of tailoring it for next year. So me and Marina sat last year, right at the end of the tour, the week before the tour ended. We were on like day 17 or something. And we were talking about what we would do for next year. Little isms here and there, and like this could have been easier, and I could have, because it's a lot. All of a sudden you're organizing a lot more than you think you would. So let's write down right now what we know works or what didn't work and go from there. And that was when Dashel Through the Snow was brought up, because I was like, you know, what'd be really fun is we take that rot week, Christmas, and we Dashel Through the Snow together. And so that's when we dreamed up Dashel Through the Snow. And then we did that in December, this last December, and it was awesome. I love Dashel Through the Snow. I still look at the art Marina did for that one, and I get like actually emotional. Is that weird? I'm not that person. I'm not. I am a co-crier, so you could cry about pretty much anything, and I will cry with you. Like I'll just all of a sudden they well. Don't look at me. But like to actually get emotional. Well, that's not true. I do get emotional over art, but yes, I'm actually remembering now. We're not telling those stories. Okay, so the Dashel Through the Snow was so sweet, and it was such a nice time of year to do it too, because like for me, that's when I come out of the busyness of holidays and school concerts and, you know, get-togethers and gatherings and family and all really, really good things. But I always love that week because for me, it is truly a rot week. I know for a lot of people, it's not. There's still like a busyness, and there's like you're still doing get-togethers, you're traveling, and that's why I love that Dashel was sort of represented doing returns or coming home from work late at night and curling up with spinning or that kind of thing. So we did Dashel Through the Snow, and we had foreshadowed at the end of last year's tour, See You at the Beach in summer 2025, because we knew we wanted, actually, not only did we know we wanted to do the beach this year, take Dashel on a vacation where he could rest. I don't know, I really loved that restful vibe of Dashel Through the Snow, and our tours are normally like super hype. This is still going to be hype, but I don't know, seasons, right? This felt like a good year to maybe just go, and be in that state for the Stash Dashers. But we have notes for themes for like the next, what do we got, Marina? Like at least 4 years of themes ahead of us. I have to pick one for next year, and I'm super torn between two different themes because in my heart, in my head, I feel like I can see how cool this one would be, but then this other one is so sweet. Anyway, we've got 4 to 5 themes cooking, Marina says, and they are all super fun. And I want to have a collection of crew necks. I am team crew neck. I love me a crew neck. This was the large, by the way, from Gray and Wild, her large crew necks. For reference, I'm like 5'10" and $150, in case you're wondering about fits here. So, that's all coming out. I'm going to get to that. I'm going off topic. So that's sort of like how the Dashers grew. It was not it wasn't like really like a brainchild of any one person. It's like the brainchild of like all these people and a bunch of input that was like super good. I'm like, yeah, heck yeah, let's do that. Let's add that. Let's bring this in. And so it's been really cool to now this year, me and Marina talked earlier than ever, released the Dasher sign up earlier than ever. I've been like pretty much a week before the tour every time I've opened this thing up. It's like 1 week to the tour. Everybody sign up if you want to. So we're feeling like well ahead of the game and well organized. So sign-ups officially opened last night. They went out, like I said, in that newsletter way later than I thought they would. Not bad, but whatever. It's not like the close. So that's where we're at. We are like primed and ready. We've got this cute art. Marina's got her prints cooking and the beautiful vinyl stickers. Hold on. Like here's last year's. Super cute little vinyl stickery. There's from year one. So she's gonna have lots of, oh, there's that monster that was almost the Stash Dashers. This was almost the Stash Dasher. This was one of the mock-ups Marina gave me in that original. I still have it. I should go find that. Anyway, she's got these cooking. I talked to Amanda at Gray and Wild. She's gonna have merch ready to go on the 23rd. No. Last year the tour opened early and Amanda had a ton of Father's Day and school graduation stuff to do. So it was just, so we were doing that even still into the tour, right? This year, so good. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. I feel like for me, this is my favorite event I do all year. And I say that thinking about in-person shows, which I love. I love going to Fibers West in Knit City. I love those things, and going out to different Shepherd events and the local wool auctions, one of my favorite things to go to. But the Dashers, I stinking love the Dashers. So, okay, so there's your recap of how we came to be and then what we end up doing. So here's where all the epic rules are. We spin from our stashes. Ta-da. You want to post about it? Post about it. You don't want to post about it? Don't post about it. You want to tag me? I will repost it. It'll go into what we call the Whoop, which happens every night, the Dashers Whoop. I kind of pick like an evening time slot and I just go through and I just repost. Instagram lets you to 100 reposts. The first kind of week of the tour, we just blast right through that. There'll be, I think last year, the first couple days, Marina was what, like 250, 300 reposts, something like that. So sometimes I'll just grab grid posts for those first few days just to give us a chance to actually see what people are doing. But you know, you're kind of tapping through anyway and just seeing beautiful spins. It does slow down as the tour keeps going and people are on vacation and have, you know, other things they have going on. So we do the Dashers Whoop every evening. And then Marina says easily 200 reposts the first 3 days. Yeah, like it's hilarious. I try to even do them in slots. So that, because as I keep posting past 100, those initial ones pop out like they're gone. So we have the Dashers Whoop on the weekends. We do giveaways on Saturdays. I get on here. Well, this will be new this year. Normally I'm on Instagram Live, but we're going to do YouTube Live this year. And we do what's called the Whoop of Fortune. And it's just spinning wheel, and everybody who signs up gets their name on that wheel. You do not have to repost. You don't have to like or follow. You don't have to do anything to get your name in the reel. It's literally like you've signed up to be a Dasher, your name goes into the Whoop of Fortune. And tons of businesses and other Dashers just pile goodness into that giveaway. So we've got, you know, at least 10 giveaways every weekend, and then sometimes more. I feel like we had more last year than 10 giveaways a weekend. So that's what's so great about it too, is it's not just like a place where just businesses are, you know, it's not networky. Nothing's networky. It's very cool that, like, you know, Melody from Pacific Coasters on here, and she always is, you know, she threw bats in last year, and I think, did you give away a spindle last year? No, you did spindle for Dasher Through the Snow. Anyway, so once again, it comes back to that community pool. It's this community pooling of, like, there's lots of sharing that happens. Every year we have brand new spinners. So many brand new spinners. I've already had a message today. I haven't spun before. I've been meaning to learn. Can I join if I don't currently spin? I'm like, heck yeah, you should join if you don't currently spin. Because there's a ton of sharing, there's a ton of support, there's a lot of look at this braid that I bought. And then we're all like, ooh, what's that braid? And then for a team that's sort of built around using what you already have, there is like a stupid amount of shopping that happens. That's a byproduct. No one meant for that to happen. But like, you kind of can't help yourself if you see, you're going to these stories and you're like, oh, look at that color, look at that thing, and look at this spin. And I never heard of that maker before. And so it's really cool. Or even watching people do their own prep is super cool. Last year, for the first time ever in the giveaways, we had people giving away raw wool. Robin gave away raw wool, and one of Robin's from LNR in Washington. She's a shepherd. And then, who else gave away raw wool? Another dasher, I think, a fellow dasher. Kingdom Fleece and Fiber Works is a mill in Virginia, and they gave away 5 pounds of free wool processing. It's like, so it was cool because we got super woolly, which obviously we are, I mean, I'm picking wool in this live, right? But it was cool to see people who, again, had never processed wool win raw wool and then be like, all right, community, I need you to help me wash this thing. And people dove in on that. It was awesome. It was outstanding. So that's sort of the spirit of the Dashers. I mean, aside from the basics we all know, be good to each other, be kind, be generous, all these things we teach, you know, little kids going off to kindergarten. Those would be like rules that apply. Be a basic, decent human being, you know, and spin from your stash. There you go. There it is in a nutshell. And how you, look at this lock, by the way, distracted. And how you choose to participate, how much you want to participate, how much do you want to spin, how much do you want to share about what you're spinning. That's all. There's no extra reward for sharing more, and there's no penalty for sharing less. So it's kind of just do you and have fun and relax. Look at Dashel this year. This the little drink on the gut is my favorite thing ever. And that is what the Dashers are. That is another question I get too. Well, Melly, I'm going on vacation for this week. Can I still join? Yeah, you can still join. Absolutely. We don't have minimum targets here. Try and leave. Well, come on, not try and leave. Like, leave the tour with less stash than you had. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's your goal. Can you guys hear the spinner? Emily! Can you move the bowl? That's loud. Is that loud for you guys? It's loud for me. Where the heck is that puppy? The puppy ate Wyatt's puffy earphone this morning and pooped in his room. So so now I feel like if I don't see that puppy. Dutton! Let's see if he comes. Batman! If he comes from Batman, am I actually gonna call his bluff and call him that? Okay. Look at this. Oh, Sprander, hi! But we buy more during the tour. We do buy more during the tour. Shoot, I always find so many good new makers. And a lot of them is fun for me because people will come out of the woodworks and be like, I'd like to give away roll eggs. I want to give away spindles. I want to give away, like last year I met Gemma because Gemma's the one who makes those, is it called Argonauts? Those e-spinners, those printed e-spinners out of the UK? Don't quote me on that, okay? Oh, hey, you're here! Hey! And so Gemma messaged me and she was like, I've got these amazing wool combs on my Etsy. And I was like, what? Like, and so you kind of get to, you find people, or they find you, or we find each other within the tour that we didn't know. And so it's cool for like the spinning community, right? Because we're small but mighty, like, you know, in the grand scheme of crafting. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you keep funneling down the crafts and eventually you get to hand spinners. And then you get even like niche below that, people who process wool. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's kind of cool when we all find each other for these tools and for these things. And so I really love the Stash Dashers. What is going on? Em?
Set timer for 20 minutes.
Hold on. Em?
Yo.
Can you fix that bowl? It's super noisy. Is that the bowl?
That's the machine.
Is being that noisy? That's the bowl.
There we go.
It was the bowl. Where's Puppy Pants?
Behind you.
Behind me? Did he come when I said Batman? Batman!
No,
Ah.
he's been there the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, so we covered lore, we covered the lore. Melly Knits loves some lore. We love some lore. We covered purpose, why we stash dash, and what we hope to achieve, which is making friends and having fun. I sound like children's programming. Love it. So that's what we hope to achieve. Okay, so new this year is going to be.
Everyone ignore me.
Whoa!
Sorry.
Look at who we got here. New this year. We've got the lives being hosted on YouTube rather than the lives being hosted on Instagram. This is just to open it up a bit more because our group is a bit more open. Like we have people coming in from other places, people who don't have Instagram accounts. I kind of learned that too this year when not this year, like I've YouTubed so much this year, but people who would comment on YouTube and I'd say, oh yeah, I do this and this and that over on Instagram. Oh, I don't have Instagram. So, they were asking me for a carding video here, which is something I might show more often over on Instagram, right? Like I'm carding and I'm showing paddles and feeding wool but this community here hadn't seen that. So there's some other people who would like to be able to participate but aren't on Meta, that kind of thing. Also, the Instagram camera is the worst. Ever since I got this new phone, it does this crazy macro thing. So if I did this right now and I'm on Instagram, it would do this like boop, 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 and turn me all yellow and make me fuzzy. So I hate that. So we're going to do our lives here. The other new thing this year is we are going to have a wide group chat on Discord. I say those words as if I'm speaking another language because I have never been on Discord in my life. I don't know how it works. But Emily says it would be great for this, and Marina says it would be great for this. And I love Marina and I love Emily and I trust these two and they've got this. So, oh, hi. Okay, hold on 1 second.
I got scared of the stool.
Did you get scared of the stool? Because you're just a chicken. Okay, so there's going to be a wide group chat. So if for those who either don't want to participate in an Instagram small chat or you're not on Meta, this is a way we kind of talked to me and Marina in advance. We were first, should we do a face? I'm sorry, Marina, to this day that I even suggested like we could do a Facebook group because I'm on Facebook groups to buy wool and like whatever, but sometimes those could be scary. And right away, Marina was like, no! And then it was like, okay, well, Google has a chat service where you can do group chats. And then it was like, well, but Google Chat, I was even less familiar with the idea of that than I am with like Discord. And so I'm going to be brave. We're doing Discord. And Emily's so funny. She's like, I'm going to show you today. So that's what's happening. Just for those who want that wider group chat experience, a place where Dashers can collect outside their group chats. This year, the chats are called cabanas. Last year, they were bothies. The year before that, they were echelons. So this year, they're going to be called cabanas. So if people want to connect outside the cabana, or if you join the Dashers and you've missed the cabana cutoff, because we have to cut off the cabana signups the day before the charts, because I want to spin. And admitting the whole beginning of the tour is not, I did that on year 2. We kept adding chats the whole time because I didn't want anyone to not be able to be included. And then it turned out to actually, not be ideal. And so last year Marina was so helpful in helping me like make a cutoff date because naturally that wouldn't be there's room for more. Of course we can make more food, like come on in kind of a person. So it was a challenge for me to be like, I'm so sorry, you can still spin with us, but like not in the chat. And some people wanted that. So now that's an option for those who find us later, because people do find us later. Like the tour begins, we start the whoop, everyone's tagging Melly Knits, and then people are like, wait, who's that? What's happening? Huh? Can I join? Like 3, 4, 5 days into the tour. So we allow signups to happen. Marina, when are we cutting off for the whoop this year? Did we decide we're going to let it go like 5 days or something after the tour starts before we stop adding names to the Whoop of Fortune? But the chat does shut off the day before. So is that new? That's not, yeah. So the having a group chat on Discord is new. Doing the lives here is new. This dog is new. Oh, Emily's new. She's her first tour.
My first year.
Her first year doing Tour de Fleece. So that's new. That's exciting. And there was something else that was new. I thought I stuck it in the sign up. YouTubes. Hold on. I thought I put a little note. No, I don't think so. Maybe not. Because last year when we assigned the cutoffs, we did it, like we realized about a couple days too late that we probably should assign a cutoff and like put it in writing. This year we began in the sign up, it tells you when this cutoff is. So that's technically new, but that's not very fun. Mostly just a self-preservation kind of move. The chats last year, we had so many bothies, there was absolutely no way for me to connect in any of them. So I just essentially just became, I don't even know, there was like 22 bothies just firing off constantly, people with messages. And so we ended up assigning admins to every bothy who had kind of able to help people in or out. Sometimes people accidentally leave their bothy and need back in, or technical errors, or just like maintaining a sense of community. And so we, depending on how many signups we get for this year, maybe it's the same size as last year, we totally got this. Hi! Or maybe it's gonna be a lot bigger. So the idea of me being in every cabana is already off the table because that was crazy. So I think that maybe this Discord, again, still saying it like a foreign word, will be good for that too. But everybody can still have their little pod. I actually started to feel like a creeper last year because I couldn't be a part of all these conversations that were all happening. And so then when I did pop in, I'm like, hey everybody, this and this. I felt like I walked into a room where everybody was all mid-conversation. I'm like, information, and then left. So I like how certain bothies, like cabanas, we're calling them cabanas this year, certain small group chats really can take, because they're all different people and everyone's randomly assigned, right? Can really take to like having a strong sense of community. I know our very first year we did multiple ones was E1, famously E1, and they're still together to this day. And one, I already was messaged about a week ago from a bunch of people from one of last year's bothies who all want to stay together. And for this year, they decided that before we ever even talked about it. So it's kind of cute to see people who have maintained friendships. You know, and other bothies might have been way more quiet or had less action or less sense of community, but it really does just depend on who gets in there. Anyway, what else do we need to talk about? Does anybody have any questions? I talked about how there's merch. There's a braid. I did. Okay, yes, shirts already. So Amanda from Grey and Wild is doing the merch again, and she will have that open on the 23rd. That's when she said she'll have it all ready to go. She's got the art. She got a fun new keychain this year she's really excited about that holds 2 cards and it can logo. So she's like, we're doing kind of the same things: totes, t-shirts, hoodies, keeping it pretty simple. But she had this one fun new thing that she wanted to bring to the people. And on that note too, just because I love talking about, I don't love talking about money, but I feel like talking about, because I do, right? Even when I'm talking to Advents and I'm on live and we're talking Advent stuff, I love kind of talking about like the process and how these things go down and costs and like the cool way, I don't know, breakdowns. With the Dashers, when you guys purchase from Amanda at Grey and Wild, 100% of your money is for Amanda at Grey and Wild. And when you buy a braid from Bramble Ridge, 100% of that is for Bramble Ridge. Or when you bought my sister's pottery mugs last year, 100%. Actually, that was even more than 100% because she sold them off my site. There was a whole fees thing. But anyway, so she's like, I don't care. But when you guys are purchasing from Dot at Busted Button, did Dot sell to you direct or through me? Those might have just been giveaways. But you guys are supporting, not supporting, but you know what I mean? You're buying from other businesses, local businesses. And this isn't something, because I've never wanted the Dashers to be something that for me is like where there's, how do I say that? Because I feel like that could be a spicy thing to say out loud. This is, Emily's laughing. Supporting local, there it is, micro businesses, actual makers. This is so much fun for me to do. I love that a bunch of people want to do it with me. Similar to when I was just recently, and I still am, doing like a like a whip down. And all these people are like, I want a whip down. And isn't it just funner to do it with your friends? That's what the Dashers is for Millie Knits. That's why I organize it. That's what it's about. When I set up these other businesses to be involved, I am doing that because you guys want merch or braids. I'm not doing that because of any other reason. There you go. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I think, and obviously the world goes round with wholesale and with, people who can promote others and, for their time, their art back. Like I have no issues against that. I think that is also a wonderful way of doing things. It's just not how we do it here in this scenario with this event. Is that?
Yes.
You picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. That is that. And the same goes for everybody who donates something to the giveaways. This is like people are just being generous. And so it's super awesome. It's super awesome. Okay. Any questions? Did anyone ask a question while I was out there ranting and raving? No? Yes? Collaborative. Thank you, Shannon. It's collaborative. That's a collaborative vibe. I love a collaborative vibe. You know what I really loved is for Dashers Through the Snow, I gave away these BC Makers boxes where I had grabbed items from local BC businesses. There was like this cool candle person I found at Christmas when I went to someone's like home craft show, and there was like stuff from Preserved Canning. You guys know I love stuff at Preserved Canning. Anyone in Somalia has had like tons of spices, right? And like other non-wool related folk that are makers in BC and just getting them into this like kind of collective locals box. I loved doing that. I'm going to do those for giveaways again this year too. I'm going to throw some stuff in there. And Emily is going to make you guys some cute bats. Look at her. Mm-hmm. She's making cute shop update bats right now.
Yep.
Oh, it's very yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's going to be the happiest little merino I've ever seen.
Yep.
What is this, Bombyx and Sari?
Mm-hmm. Trying to get rid of the colors that you hate and won't let me use.
Hey. We're on a live. No. Yeah, she's making... Here, hold up one of your baskets of your Marina's calling it Sunshine Merino. Marina, that's exactly the color. And you haven't even seen it yet.
That's what I'm going for.
Pass me this.
Thank you, Marina.
Oh no! I lost blobs. That's what she's sticking in this basket of white merino. Isn't that going to be cute? Marina says Melly Knits is a purple free zone. Except for Emily keeps doing crap. Oh, I just dumped your stuff all over the floor. And then I dropped it. Emily keeps doing stuff with purple and changing my mind. So
it's my goal.
That's new and exciting. Now she's got to make me love that green. I hate that one Sari Silk green.
I'm so close. I feel it.
I hate it. It looks like
to be fair,
toxic
it's not
snot.
The best green.
It looks like toxic snot. Okay. I vote for a Sid Taco Dutton tax. Show me the puppy at the end. Okay, we talked puppy because today he's been answering to Batman.
I think he's chosen his own name.
Are you choosing your own name? What if we just call you Perfect? What if we just call you Precious Perfect?
What if Shabba gets confused?
That's what we call Shabba. So, no, Marina, I don't hate swamp green. I love swamp green. No, I hate toxic snot green. Like, oh, Marina says let's call him Scruffly.
Scruffly?
For about an hour yesterday, he was Scrappy. And then he was Master Splinter for a while because he kind of looks like that rat from the 80s or the early 90s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know, like the Jim Henson one? He was Master Splinter. Are you Master Splinter? Are you very tired? So I kind of liked Master Splinter. And then he was Peso. He was Peso for a while. And today we've been working with and testing out Batman to see, which started as a joke, but then he keeps looking at us whenever we say it. So, baby. Yeah. Aaron calls him street meat. Turtles, you must work together. You are brothers. Marina just quoted a movie that I've seen 100 times. So thank you, Marina. I appreciate that. Okay, Marina, am I missing anything? Did I not say anything? And does anybody have any questions about the Stash Dashers, or would you just like to maybe drop a comment about how absolutely excited you are to Stash Dash this year?
I'm excited.
Okay, good. Okay, good. The second year of the Dashers, I only spun BC Indie Dyers. That was my. I have to contain things. You guys all know this about me already. I have to have like little groupings in order for me to be able to get through a project or something like that. So the second year was only BC. No, sorry, only Canadian Indie Dyers. And then the third year, I spun all my friends. And so it was kind of fun to spin like friend prep and like business friend prep and like all that kind of stuff. It was super cute. I don't have like a tight theme for this year, but we did get a new bed and I stored all my stash under the bed in these IKEA bins. And I don't have like a huge stash, but you know, I got a stash. And as I was having to pull things out and organize, I did. Oh, Marina had a huge. Everyone read what Marina just wrote. I had a huge de-stash personally. Like I got rid of a bunch of yarn and I went through the fiber. And as I was going through the fiber, I have 2 bins for fiber for spinning. And it was like bin 1, I'm going to use this for stash dashers. And bin 2 was like, eh. I'll never show you guys what's in bin 2 because it would feel mean now that I just said that. But now that I have actually unlocked combo spinning, the combo drafting, I bet you I could go back to bin 2 and get through that thing. I've got a stash, says the woman within 15 fleeces visible behind her. Oh, I know they're not yours. Yeah, those belong to Melly Knits. Melly Knits owns those. Melissa does not own those. Stash server will be join or bail whenever you want. That means things. That is information. Okay. Marina, I promise. We're going to do a crash course. You and me, we need to have like a phone date. And Emily. Okay. So, yeah, these, I know I read a room full of fleeces, but these aren't for me. These are for you guys. And actually, in the last little bit, because I don't normally grab my own stuff and like thirst to spin it. Those are business fleeces. I don't normally thirst to spin my own stuff, but the anniversary set we just did for Blossom, holy smokes. Emily, I'm still thinking about that. Have you started spinning those samples yet?
No, I was gonna bring them back and switch you for the other one.
No!
You keep wanting them.
You're not.
Yes, I am.
You are not.
I will. I will fire myself.
I will fire you. I'll fire myself, she says. That's the other thing she always says to me. I will dock my own pay. Okay, so the one we just did for Blossom, that is one of the ones where this is a lot like when I used to be a pastry chef and I would like plan the food, I would make the food, get the ingredients for the food, make the food, you're testing the whole time you go, and then by the time the cupcake, the cake, the whatever is done, I couldn't look at it. I didn't even want to eat it. I need something completely different. I need salt and vinegar chips, right? And bats can sort of be like that for me sometimes because I'll spend so much time with a fleece and we sample them all. So by the time a whole bat's done, like I don't want to spin that bat. I feel like I've spun it 8 times already because every stage that we work with this thing, from scouring to picking to carding and then sampling and then whatever else, it's like, yeah, I've been there, done that, man. Like, let's move on and grab the next one. Except for this stupid set that we just did for Blossom. This thing had my heart. Okay, I think we're good, unless anyone has questions. We've been on here for 43 minutes, and Puppy Pants is very tired. Are you the most beautiful Batman? We can't really call him Batman, can we?
No.
Sleeping with his little Yoda ears he's got going on. I know. I don't think we can really call him. I think he's probably going to end up with the name Dutton, which is the name he came with. Except that everybody keeps saying to me, oh, from Yellowstone? And I'm like, like, okay. Now he's starting to kind of look like it. Oh! Did I tickle you with my hair? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Shaba and Ranks, right? I had no idea who Shaba Ranks was until we got Shaba. Okay, guys. Well, then I'm going to go back to getting this shop update. Oh, Marina says prep school class bad boy. His name is Dutton. That's you to a T. Mr. Garbage Eater. Mr. Earphones Room Pooper. Mr. Peas on everything I love. Okay, he's fine. He's learning. Poops on the floor. Okay, Emily's scouring. We got to get Big Homie back on because we got a shop update next weekend, and we're just hustling away for that. And I'm missing a day of that because me and Erin are heading up to the Western Canada Young Shepherds show up in Barrier. So Emily is going to hold down the fort on the last day all by herself.
Isn't Olivia helping?
I don't know.
Cool. I got this. It's fine.
You got this?
Yeah.
She's got this. She's got this. She's confident. Down here making her sunshine yellow. Oh no, she's aqua blue now.
You like this blue. I was trying to make one you wouldn't and one you would.
Okay, well, that's what we have going on over here. So, thank you for being here for the Stash Dashers Live. I'm going to go, Marina, I'm pretty sure, has probably, in her infinite foresight and wisdom, sent me some kind of cover. I'm going to stick on this thing. I'll figure it out. She just walked me through timestamps last night. So, we're going to do all the things, guys. We're going to stash down. We are going to meet new people. Scrappy Poo. I think Scrappy's a cute name. Do you think Scrappy's cute? We're going to stash down. We're going to have a great time. And, like, just absolutely thrilled to bits and pieces that you guys all want to do this together. It's fantastic. This is excellent. So, it's always very, very exciting. And I get like the butterflies like a day or two before the tour because I get all my little spins for my kilo all lined up next to my wheel. Oh, I bought a new wheel today. Emily watched me be a little bit crazy about that. But I went and I bought a tiny wheel today. I went and got a little gem. A little gem from Magicraft today. I got it. And it's super cute. I went down to the dealer's house and I sat in her living room and I spun on it. And I had been really prepared for it to be like some kind of weird super, like I spin on a Susie from Magicraft and I'm kind of like a one woman wheel, okay? Like I just have one. I just have the one wheel, right? Like I don't really have like a strong desire to like own many wheels because then I would just get lost in the decision of which one am I going to spin this on, and I would make myself absolutely crazy. I just have the one. I have a Susie, okay? So then, but I have found lately that there have been times when I've been packing dear little Susie into the front seat of my car with a seatbelt more than I thought I ever would. And so then I kind of got it into my brain to look at travel wheels. Are we good to talk travel wheels right now? This is the Stash Dashers Live. Should this be? This is a general Melly Knits chat that includes the Stash Dashers Live. Okay, so I had this hankering to kind of grab a smaller wheel. And actually, Melody from Pacific Coaster is one that I had talked to about. She had brought up some I'd never heard of, and I talked to my friend Maxwell, and I talked to like a couple little people just who know more about this stuff than me because I don't. I'm okay with that. Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what travels really well? Gemma. So, Gemma has beautiful e-spinners. Gemma has beautiful e-spinners. Okay, so I need to stop looking at the comments because I'm getting off. You guys are hilarious. Okay. So I was looking for some kind of an option. I had an e-spinner, and then I did not love how loud its motor was. And you know what's funny is Emily has an e-spinner with the quietest motor in the whole entire world. Mm-hmm. I could spin on that thing all day long, but the motor was really quiet, was really loud on mine. It would make me crazy. So the stupid thing sat in a bag, unspun on for like years, like 2, 3, 4 years or something like that. No one spun on this thing except for Aaron occasionally. So anyway, that's gone, and I'm like, well, I get it in my head, and I already have a Magicraft. And then my local dealer just happened to have one in stock, and I went down and I tried it. But I had been kind of pre-warned that it was going to be a very different spin from my Susie. Oh, Marina, pin that. Remind me of that pin. I wrap up my ladybug and put her buckled into the front seat. Right? Yes, that's what I was doing with my Susie. So I went down and spun on it today, and I would say it was like 80% like spinning on my Susie. The one difference I noticed initially, okay, I spent 10 minutes on this wheel, so I am in no way, shape, or form an expert, was where those sort of heavier, bigger wheels seem to kind of, once you get them going, they kind of just want to go. On this little gem, one of the things I noticed is I'm treadling, it's like, it's right with me. It's not ever ahead of me. It doesn't have that feeling of like kind of force, like how a supported spindle has, you know, where you flick it and it's doing its own thing. Sometimes these other wheels I've spun on, they have that sort of sense. Once you get the wheel going, we're just like in this perpetual motion. Whereas I feel like with this Susie, this little gem, because the wheel is so small, that you have to like, I'm more actively treadling than I treadle on my Susie. I was totally okay with that. and went for it. And I picked up, on a whim, a little gem today. And and she watched me be weird about it because I'm like, no, we need to work today. I don't need this wheel. I have a wheel. I don't need this wheel. We're not going to get this wheel. And then I walk into the bathroom as she's scouring. I'm like, so I'm going to go get this wheel. I'll be right back. I'll be back in an hour. And I went down and I got this wheel. And I love it. It's in the bag by the front door. I'm going to tactically wait. And then Aaron is going to come home and I'm going to show him how it sets up because that's how I'm going to ensnare him into also loving this wheel. He did like the noisy e-spinner. I did not. I sold it anyway. Isn't that awful? Okay, Emily's on... what do you have?
Huh? Oh, for spinning. Oh.
Oh, someone's talking about the Aura. Waffling about wool. Okay. I didn't think I needed a small wheel. Do I need a small wheel? Do I still think I need a small wheel? No. Do I have one sitting in the entranceway of my house right now? Yes, I do. Do I need it? I mean, I could say yes to that. Like, okay, for instance, I'm going to Barrier next weekend. I'm going to talk about going to Barrier. And I'm bringing a wheel. Brought my wheel to my son's career day at his school. I set up this whole woolly thing. Me and this shepherd named Amber shared a table, and we just talked to kids about wool all day. We converted so many spinners that day. It was amazing. New spinners unlocked like at least 7 of the youths. And so it was awesome. And I'm tracking Susie. You guys see my truck that day. It was so funny and so full. And we are going away for a week in July. And I want to spin because it's the tour. I'm going to spin. And I was like, well, I could bring Susie on the road trip. And I'm like, or I could bring the little gem on the road trip. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, I could probably justify it. Okay, Emily is on, what is it, guys? How do you say it? Is it Daedalus? Daedalus? How do you say that? Someone phonetically put that thing in the chat right now. I know it's some sort of, like, ancient thing I'm supposed to know the name of, but I don't. Oh, Meg, you know. You have all that stuff. Daedalus. Okay, so someone in the fiber community, when cute little Emily first came to work for Melly Knits, and she was just learning how to spin, she was brand new to wool. Remember, Emily touched wool for the first time, like in this state, when she came for Advent season last year. Correct, Emily?
True.
Otherwise, you had no idea about any of this, that this even existed, that this world even existed.
I knew sheep existed.
Oh, Giselle, pin that. I'm going to answer that. That's actually a really great question. She knew sheep existed, but she didn't know anything else. So then when she started to spin, because she got a little addicted, and then now she's like cute little Emily who works here all the time, someone in the fiber community just was like, hey, listen, I want to gift a wheel I'm not using anymore to Emily. So she has some equipment to learn on. And we were like, okay, and sends her Daedalus, a magpie, and a sparrow. Mm-hmm. And 2 sweater quantities of braids. What'd you get? Hello Yarn and who's the other one?
Oh, I can't remember, but it was really pretty.
It was someone.
If anyone wants to know, just text me.
Okay.
I have it somewhere.
Emily is at cute little Emily on Instagram. Send her a magpie, sent her a sparrow, sent her the little battery packs, a ton of extra bobbins, like all kinds of stuff.
Set me up for life.
Set her up for life.
For life.
And 2 sweater quantities of braids. Hand-dyed, indie-dyed stuff from like Amazing Indie Dye. It was crazy. We both opened this box and we're just like, and I'm looking at Emily, I'm like, do you understand what you've just received? Like, even if you could get it, let's just say you pass that vibe check, right? You can actually have access to it. This is like a high value box of stuff. So that was pretty spectacular. Don't you just love that about what we do and who we hang out with here? I just love that. So she set up with that. Her stuff is whisper quiet. Marina, I've kind of never seen anything like it. It's very inspiring. I do need to say the same person that gifted Emily very, very often will get a bat in my shop separate from other bats and say, could you pay this one forward? that's really sweet too. And so, because inevitably on Shop Update mornings, there are sad DMs from people who didn't get anything, and they're nice. They're nice, but it's, you know, you're there, you're on time, you get carjacked, and everything's gone. That sucks, right? So she's always like, could you send this to someone who didn't get anything today? And it's like the nicest thing ever to be able to do, and I love it with my whole heart. So, okay. So that's the story. That I literally went out and I bought a little gem on a whim today because somewhere deep down in my soul, I'm like, you know, but I do need this, even though I know that I don't need this. So I'm going to actually, after work today, I'm going to spin on that, and it's going to be absolutely fabulous, and I'm going to be really excited. So there's, are you letting the wool relanolize?
Maybe.
Just laughs. Okay. Giselle, did someone answer Giselle's question about how she'll know about the Discord? So right now, the information went out on Instagram. The information went out in my newsletter, right? Just for signups are open, and we're just getting people to sign up. We're going to collect all of you who have said, yes, you can email me, right? Because that's one of the questions is, can I, you know, would you like to receive Stash Dashers emails? Those are going to come from MailChimp. We're going to reopen the one we had last year that did the Stash Dasher stuff. I don't do it for my site because there isn't an easy way to partition people who are just on my newsletter on my site from like random person who signed up when they saw me at a show or whatever to people who want Stash Dasher specific emails. So MailChimp is going to do the Stash Dasher specific email. So once we get everyone's emails, we're going to send a Stash Dasher specific one to everybody, and it's going to have merch links, it's going to have Bramble's links for her braids, it's going to have stuff from Dot at Busted Button, who has not yet confirmed, but I'm going to keep talking like she's doing it for sure, because this is pure pressure time, and I want it. And then the Discord will be in there, and like anything else, Marina's going to do her lives again this year, where she draws Dashel live doing all sorts of fun things. Those dates will be in there. End dates, the dates and times for the Whoop of Fortune, like all that stuff. But we're just not going to send that to the broad community in my newsletter. We're just going to send that to people who want to know it. So that's all we're waiting for, but it will all come out, and you will have links for everything. Okay. Because we organized this year. Didn't you guys get that? Those at the beginning, me and Marina are killing it this year with the organization. So, okay. Marina is killing it this year with the organization. I amended my statement to make it more truthful. So you have it. Okay. I talked about everything and more. You know, it's fun. These YouTube lives. I love YouTube lives. If I have to sit here and do one of my Wool Room diaries, my recorded ones, I never get in here. I like them, but they're not like this. There's nothing that compares to knowing that there's someone on the other side of this screen. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much better and so much easier to talk. I got mad respect for these people who were like consistently like pulling off YouTube videos, because A, that takes a ton of time, and B, you gotta pre-plan all that stuff. No way. It's always better if it's just what's gonna come out of my mouth next, you know? All right, I am going for reals this time. We have 1 minute left till we've been an hour on here. So this is, you have 30 seconds if you want to ask me anything. Otherwise, we're gonna go. I will leave you. No questions. Oh, baby. Does Aaron know about the wheel? No, he doesn't. Oh, he might. Yes, I called him on the way home. I said I bought a wheel. Oh, he's sleeping. Look at him, how tired he is. Oh, baby. I called him on the way home, and I said, I just did something that was crazy. He goes, what'd you do? I said, I bought a wheel. He goes, you can buy a wheel. I love what he says. He's not phased. He doesn't find that crazy. He's just like, you got this. Go on. Get your wheel. So I've got my wheel. But I want him to love the wheel. So we'll wait till he gets home, and then he can love the wheel. Hi, are you so tired? Okay, guys, I'm going. And Batman, Dutton, Peso, Taco, says goodbye. Okay, kisses, friends. Kisses!